how's it going? My name's John McLennan and I'm here with GuitarControl.com. Hope you're doing fantastic. Wanted to do a guitar lesson today on a song called Killing Floor by Howlin Wolf. It's got Hubert Sumlin on guitar and it's a really awesome guitar part. Be sure to click the link below so you can get the tab for this video lesson. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you the intro and then we're going to get into how to play through the entire tune. We're going to talk about how he uses his thumb to play. So let's zoom in and break it down. Here we go. This is basically a 12-bar blues in the key of A. And it does sort of a traditional intro where you start out on the turnaround, which is the last 4 bars of the tune, starting up on the 5 chord, which would be an E7. And the way Hubert plays this is he goes way up here to the 12th fret, and your first finger goes across these 2 strings, and then your middle finger goes on the 13th fret of the 3rd string, and then the 14th fret of the 4th string. And you basically have this, 4-note chord. It's an E up here. It's kind of like this, just up the octave. Gives a nice cutting sound. The other thing you'll notice is that Hubert plays with his fingers. So if you're trying to do this with a pick, you're going to get a different tone. So I recommend, what I do is I just brush with my thumb. You have to get a little callus on your thumb, but that kind of helps the tone, I think. You can really kind of hear the personality of it. So we've got that chord, and the first strum, you're like this, and then you add your pinky, which then at this point the chord becomes an E7. So we go. So it's like one up stroke with your thumb, and then the pinky goes on. Okay? And then it stays there until the last 8th note. So 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you get this. Kind of a little moving melody in the chord, which gives it a nice quality. Then you move down a whole step, and you do the same thing, but this chord now is based off a D7, Really cool shape. So 5, down to the 4 chord, and that's 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and my thumb's just kind of going back and forth. Then you take that same chord, move it down to the 5th fret, and it becomes an A. Okay, so far we've gone E7, D7, A7. Then we're going to do an E7 in the last measure. And he kind of just gets an, muted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So what that is basically, you could think this E7 chord would be like a C chord just brought up to the 5th fret and then add your pinky on the 3rd string. You could think that, or sometimes you just play the root note. 1 and 2 and 3 and then on beat 4 he does this cool hammer, which is just kind of just wild to me, but it sounds so good when he does it, So that's open 4th string, hammering to the 5th fret, and then you just kind of shake it. So 1 and 2 and then you're into the verse there, so basically the 12-bar structure that's going to repeat. So let's give it a try. Here we go. 1 and. So that would be the first 4 bars and how to play the intro. Nice work. So you feel comfortable with that intro. Let's get into now playing through the basic 12-bar blues the way Hubert does. So this is going to follow the basic structure of a 12-bar blues using the A7, the D7, and the E7, the 3 chords in a traditional A blues. And Hubert, he's got so much personality going on in this guitar part, and every time he plays it, he plays a little bit different. But this is going off just the classic recording, and I'm going to try to break down exactly what he's doing. So the band builds in. So what he does is he's got these sixths, and that's basically the 9th fret here, the 3rd string, and then the 9th fret on the 1st string, and he slides into it. And I use my 3rd finger pinky, and I'm using my thumb, and I'm really dampening all the other notes around it. So sliding in actually from 7-7 to 9-9. And to me that's just part of an A chord. Here's an A triad up here, and I'm just using those 2 notes. Then I pass to the next note in the scale. You know, that's just sort of like scale stuff with sixths. But passing down and then going to 5 and 6. 5 on the 1st string, 6 on the 3rd string. So it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So that's kind of his way of playing A7. And if you want, you can keep your thumb going in it. It's kind of just flowing the rhythm in there. And then he goes, kind of does this, it's almost just squawking sound. 7, 7. And then that's just the 1 note. And then back to the 6. So. Okay, that was a repeat of the same thing. And these are great figures to know, just doing 6, you know. I create so many rhythm parts to tunes just using that sort of concept. 2, 3. Okay, now we're moving up to the 4 chord, which would be D7. And the way that he does that is same thing with these 6, this time on the 12th fret, alternating between those 2 notes. So when I have to do this, again, I said I'm mainly using my thumb pretty much for everything, but if then my thumb and index come in. So that's 4E and a 1. I'm sliding into the 14th fret, which is now like a D chord. So going from the A to the D chord. So 3. So that was 14, 14, walking back down 12, and then 10 and 11. Just like what I did here. Just reapplied now over the 5 chord. And then you can just do some, mutes in between. Again, if you're having trouble with this, click the link to get the tab so you can follow along. He just does that, just muted notes, and then so what happens in the last 4 bars is you tie in that intro. And that's just starting out with this 14th fret. And then brushing. And then moving down and doing the same thing on D7. Last measure, you can just go to straight A and go 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and that rhythm's just 1 and rest, 3 and a 4, and so 1, 2, and that's just building in again on that 7th fret, 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I put the whole thing together from the intro. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. For more in-depth information, click on the annotation on your screen, or the iCard if you're on mobile, and you can check out one of my guitar courses. I have one specifically on blues called Blues Power that you really might dig if you were watching this video, as well as a few others. Alright, well thanks so much. I'm John McLennan, and we'll see you in the next video lesson. Thanks for watching.